Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Avowed, and welcome back to our ongoing playthrough on Path of the Damned difficulty, in first-person view with no HUD, running a dual daggers build.
Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giat is about to tear that poor man a new one.
Jada?
One of our animancers. She's bright as a spark, but a mite confrontational. She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giat has put the governor in his place, but it might be the last.
What are they fighting about?
Look around. The town's overgrown, the crops are dying. What's not to fight about?
Just take a blessed day look outside. Doesn't take a genius to see this place is rolling downhill.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
Can't say I am. Not really. Whoops.
Yeah.
Alright, here we are. Fior Messiverno.
The Emperor's envoy. Come to interfere in Steel Garrote business again?
That depends. Are you going... are you doing something that requires my interference?
Certainly not. Besides, I have no more business in Fjord. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy.
Animancy is dangerous. We need to rule it out as a factor in this play.
Good. Perhaps he will listen to you. I am not fashioned for statecraft. Still, I think the governor is too stubborn to be persuaded even by the Emperor's finest. When diplomacy fails, the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of Adiran interests. We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
No, I just think Kai was being a little bit sarcastic there, my friend. It's an alchemist shop. And here are our bounties. Go pick these up.
And all godlike. I've heard whispers that one of your kind was here in the Living Lands. It is a pleasure to meet you. In case it wasn't clear, I'm the point of contact for anyone with bounties to turn in. So return to me if you have any to claim.
What's your role in Fior Messiverno?
Officially, I'm one of the many researchers here. My specialty is in the anatomy of the many species of Eora.
Why are you here instead of researching?
If you must know, Vulpinet, these bounties are more pressing than my research. Someone had to be chosen to man the board. That person happened to be me. At least some of these bounties result in interesting specimens to study.
I'll return when I have bounties to collect.
Aurat Auguri. I hope to see you soon.
Bounty. Pel terreno. Attention. A reward will be given for killing the Earth Blight known as Beldereno. A number of rangers and settlers perished in a natural disaster, and now their souls are bound together in agony, incarnated as the Blight. Please, put them out of their misery. To claim your reward, return proof of your kill to Martella in Fiore Mesiverno.
Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, amico. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy.
I shall endeavor to do so, amico. Bounty, the Trantons. Attention. A reward will be given for killing the notorious Tranton bandit gang, located in the Western Forest. These outlaws are responsible for a number of raids on outlying farms. Someone needs to ensure that these raids end for good. To claim your reward, return proof of your kills to Martella in Fiore Mesiverno.
Oh, the Trantons. A bunch of butzos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there.
Bounty, Old Nuna. Attention. A reward will be given for killing an ancient and dangerous bear that has taken up residence within the grotto. Some citizens familiar with the region's history recognize this bear as Old Nuna, a beast responsible for the deaths of many rangers. To claim your reward, return proof of your kill to Martello in Fior Mesiverno.
Be careful with Old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence.
Bounty, Delimgan. Attention. A reward will be given for killing a group of Delimgan within the Western Forest. They have been acting more aggressive lately, attacking rangers on patrol and researchers out in the field. To claim your reward, return proof of your kills to Martella in Fior Mesiverno.
Ah, those Delimgan. They are not evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, ne?
Fletcher's Dispatch. Wanted. Sansa, a cartographer in Paradis, has reported his assistant Fletcher missing in the Emerald Stair. A reward will be offered for the return of Fletcher's cartographic notes. Below is her last correspondence posted to provide clues to her whereabouts. Good day to you, Sansa. I hope this letter finds you well. I am pleased to report new progress on my charts of the Emerald Stair. I have taken up near a curious ruin that the locals called Naku Tedek. Godless, perhaps. I will note it. Such architecture I have never seen. I know I should be diligent and focus on my work, but I cannot help worrying that my presence here is a burden. Though the Fiorans welcomed me warmly, it is clear they have fallen on hard times. I hope to finish quickly. I am yet another mouth to feed. Kind regards, Fletcher. Bounty, Sorips. Attention! A reward will be given for killing the Sorips that have taken up residence at the abandoned farms northwest of Fjord. If those farms are ever to be reclaimed, the Sorips will need to be driven away from the land. To claim your reward, return proof of your kills to Martella in Fjord Mesiverno.
Can I interest you in some glaveberries or Barrett's bells, perhaps?
Possibly.
Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair.
How's business going?
5 summers ago, business was thriving. But now charlatans are selling crystals and essence enlargers in the streets. Add rumors of Dreamscourge and everyone is buying from these swindlers. At least you've come in.
People are scared and want reassurance. That's all.
I know, I wish they'd trust my expertise. But with medicine, there are no easy answers. At least I don't have to convince you.
Yeah, what do you... I need some supplies. What do you have? We'll sell it. Agate gemstone. She has some awakened Atra we can buy. So, yeah, let's do do that, actually. There's also some Hylia's Talon. Buy that as well.
All ingredients are fully stocked.
There's a grenade. Beautiful Hector. I write this without hope, knowing you'll never see it. Every day I come into your tea shop, watch as your lips mutter about the noise, and complain about contention. Yet the only contention I feel is within my heart. I order your tea, sit in the corner as you serve other customers, but you never notice. I imagine what has captured your thoughts each time you lose focus and stare at the wall with a blank expression. Each time I wish that it was me you looked at, with those glazed, blurry eyes. Forever your magpie, Aprit. Well, someone has secret longings. I'm hearing a
Got something. Prices seem a bit steep. They do such lovely work here, don't they? Hang on. I know you from Solace, right? I'm afraid I don't know who you are. Just as you don't know who I am. You're blessed ain't mad. I remember you. I got you. So, we understand each other then. I never thought the world of animancy could be so varied and fascinating. I can make use of so much of this equipment.
Animancy reeks of the unnatural.
You remind me of... never mind. Everyone is allowed their opinions. If you see anyone else from Sole's Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me.
I'll keep your secret.
Thank you. I wouldn't want my fellow wardens to misunderstand. But we still don't even know why you're here. You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for and more. Please, don't tell anyone you saw me here.
I don't even know who you are. Empty alleyway. Quilici's Journal 2. The crop is ruined. There's no denying it now. The Dream Scourge has come to Emerald Stair. Vidaro insists on feigning ignorance. He wants to prevent panic, but we are losing precious time. Lives could be lost. What's more, Giatta has become restless in Fior Mesiverno. I must remind myself that I once found myself aching for the promise of something greater. I can still hear Yatsli's voice that first night in Nakutedeg. Our future is a blaze of risk. Isn't that wonderful? But this time, I cannot run. Vidaro cares little for animancy or legacy. His comfort is king. I keep asking myself what the point of all this is if we abandon animancy at the first sign of struggle. Quilici's Journal 3. I fear the worst. For days now, Giatta and I passed the gates before sunrise to record the essence in Emerald Stair's soil. The results are erratic and unpredictable. The crop, once green and plentiful, is wilted and smells of decay. The wildlife shows signs of strain. A bear emerged from hibernation months early, completely rabid. We found several sparrows fallen to the floor, dead, without any sign of attack or cause, the symptom of a larger disease. Quidditch's Journal 1. Today, Tadu approached me at the market, a bundle of greens in hand. At first glance, I thought his crops had withered with the usual rot, but upon further inspection, the mold shimmered with a strange gloss. I brought the bundle back to my shop for immediate testing.
Genuine healing crystals, purest in all of Eora.
Edict of Subsistence. By order of the Governor's will and office, all greens, fruits, and grain of the earth are to be rationed by Fjord's proper authority. Effective immediately. These temporary measures shall be in place until further notice. Any attempts at subversion shall be swiftly dealt with. Ignacy Vidal, Belle Savant of Emerald Stair.
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead.
What prayer were you reciting just now?
I was calling on the spirits of the recently dead to follow the guidance of Bareth, god of death. I am asking the spirits to forgive us for our negligence and continue on their way without anger. The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry.
Fjord's problems couldn't possibly have anything to do with angry spirits. Nah. I mean, none of these are really a great choice, I think, but I imagine Fjord's problems have kept you too busy to complete the rituals.
Exactly the case. With everything happening and my own advanced age, I have had trouble keeping up. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone, they bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
Did you steal this food from the town larders?
I did, yes. With things the way they are, there was no other way to get what I need for the ritual. If I didn't think this was important, I wouldn't have taken the food. But this ritual is the key to everything. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead.
Feeding the living should outweigh the needs of the dead.
But this does help the living. By appeasing the dead, we end the dangers their anger caused. The crops will grow again. The dream scourge will end. All will be well once more.
What do you need us to do?
You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast.
Whose bodies rest there?
Loggers from the old days. They sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here.
And the third?
The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fure, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds.
Seems like a waste of perfectly good food.
I understand how it looks, but appeasing the dead is vital, especially in times like these. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
The reduced size of this book indicates that it was made for the hands of a kith, smaller than you. Despite this, the book is still easy enough to read. An old faded bookmark denotes a favorite passage. At the sound of heavy footfalls approaching and then moving past Cordron's hideaway, he couldn't help but smile affectionately. His lover had never been very observant, so it was no surprise that the dwarf had missed the hidden entrance despite Cordron's instructions. The young Orlin, diminutive even among his own people, leaned forward and poked his head out between the curtains. His voice was an amused whisper as he called out, "Vansar, down here!" Cordron stifled a laugh as Vansar jumped in surprise at the voice behind him. The dwarf's annoyance quickly faded to an amused acceptance as he saw the delight clear as day on his Orlin paramour's face. "Pfui too, Cordon. You nearly scared me straight to Barrett's realm." Cordon rolled his eyes at the exaggeration and quickly darted back into his hideaway. Moments later, Vansar's grunts heralded his entrance into Cordon's small den. It was a cozy little place tucked into the outer walls of the city, full of pillows and a single dim lantern turned down low. Cordon gave Vansar a small kiss on the cheek once the dwarf had finished squeezing his way into the den. "I'm sorry about the shock, really," Cordon said. "But seeing you jump like that was pretty funny. Anyway, what do you think? Not a bad place to hide, huh?" Vansar looked around thoughtfully. He couldn't help but begrudgingly admit that it was a cozy little place to pass an evening. Not that he'd say as much to Cordon, of course. Instead, he simply shrugged. "Oh, don't be such a stick in the mud, Vansar," Cordon teased. "Guess I'll just have to show how nice of a hideout it is, huh?" Without waiting for a response, Cordon dove at Vansar, catching him by surprise and tackling him to the ground. As their lips met and Orlin fur entwined with dwarven beard, the pair felt truly home. Well, someone likes their smut, it seems. "Darling, I wish you could have joined me this time. I understand Vidaro needs his hand held at the best of times, let alone during the onset of famine. But still, ruins are a little more beautiful with you here to explain things to. Of course, you can't join me now, even if Vidaro's suddenly grown competent. I've explored this ruin thoroughly, and I'm sure the locals are sick of me by now. So don't miss me too much, my dear. I'll be home soon. Yachtsley." Okay.
Yeah.
Gathered supplies: 5 days rations, 3 disinfectants, 1 large canvas bag, 2 steel daggers, 1 pistol, 4 bullets. Still need set of disarming tools, 3 lockpicks, more if possible. You've been breaking too many lately. Spare change of clothes, a fat bottle of celebratory wine, but bought with all the money you're going to make on this. A backbone, so you finally make the goddamn trip to the Tusks. Nothing here at all. This seems completely pointless, that room. I'm not sure what the point was of even, like, making that accessible. Let's close the door.
I am not accustomed to failure.
Rejection letter. Thank you for your humble application to the Animancer's workshop of Fiormes Iverno. We regret to inform you that admittance cannot be granted at this time. While your proposal on using Adra implements to siphon essence to specific genital features of male anatomy was certainly unexpected, we suggest you reconsider your suggestions for practical application. Sincerely, Pere Quinici, Animancer's workshop.
Ugh, neither am I. But it happens to the best of us, no? They made up their minds before we even started. It's okay, we'll try again.
But it's the third time.
You know how it is. Their standards are impossible. It isn't personal.
Of course it's personal. It's the Animancer's workshop.
Is there something I can do to help?
Maybe we need some feedback on our proposal.
Using essence to cure male flaccidity is uncharted territory. I'm sure of our thesis.
That seems like a trivial matter given Fjord's current situation.
It is times like these that we need such trivial things the most.
We treat this important issue with the utmost respect, even down to the proposal's title.
What do you think of this? Boning without bones, essence and the performativity of male anatomy.
Consider this. From stick to stone, using essence to augment male performance.
I suggest erecting the future, the burgeoning science of manomancy.
That's brilliant, huh? Simply brilliant.
We've done it again.
Wait until they read this. The days of packing rope are at an end.
I'm sure. I'm sure you will erect a great future. Anything up here? Nope.
Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence.
Dear Len, you would love it here. The Living Lands is quite the vacation spot. Even the small mushrooms are as large as giant mushrooms. They remind me of Mora, poor sad Mora and her mushroom-riddled face. Oh, I haven't met any dragons yet, but I will let you know the instant I do. Then we can both have dragons. Animancy is so much fun. One of the locals sat me down in front of his machine and told me that my soul is shaped like an orb. Can you believe that? I offered him a signed copy of my famous spell, Tain's Chaotic Orb, but he said no thanks. His loss, right? Do you still have that locket I gave you? Whenever you're feeling lonely, don't forget to open it and think of me. And maybe right back. Your friend, Tain the Archmage, author of Tain's Chaotic Orb. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Len hates when I talk about myself and when I call her Len. And everything about me. But I will get on her good side even if it kills me, which it might. If the Living Lands doesn't kill me first. Animancy for farmers. Farming in Emerald Stair is both simpler and more complicated than other lands, and it's important to understand why. Animancy is the art of soul manipulation. Because we sit atop a rich vein of soul essence, our animancers work miracles of healing, personal enrichment, research, and yes, agriculture. The machines around Fior Mesiverno tap into the flow of essence and use it to give life into the soil. Don't touch the machine to disturb any animancers at work. Don't ask questions about what they do or how they do it. If you get sick, someone might escort you to the ruins west of town for observation and final rites, if necessary. And some of the farmhands might not draw breath. Beyond that, it's business as usual.
Have you heard? Chiata's causing trouble at the governor's mansion again.
You must admit she has a point. We should do something about the Dream Scourge. Not simply wait for it to pass.
Be careful with that kind of talk. The governor has ears all over town.
A Dangerous Legacy by Arthur Castell. Fior Mesiverno is a dangerous legacy. We exploit the land for its riches, but our way of life is only a generation old. Our children will inherit an ecosystem they barely understand, because we barely understand it. Despite our success, I worry for the future. The animancers who planted these seeds will not be the ones who harvest whatever grows. Come on out, the two of you. Close the door.
Spirits are truly wonderful, powerful, self-aware, and rich with insight.
Insight, you say?
Indeed. The spirits have access to lifetimes of knowledge.
A little knowledge would do me good right about now. A pity I must wait until I'm dead.
Souls are made of essence. Essence is made of... Why are hostile spirits visible to the naked eye? Undiscovered gods? Mapping the beyond? Soul compass, is that something? How to hide our work from the gods? Tea? Soul tea? If I don't settle on a dissertation topic, my mentor is going to kill me.
Would you care for a refreshment?
I would love a refreshment, thank you.
If you are looking for sanctuary, you have found it. The Gifted Magpie is a house of calm, rational discussion. We have only 2 rules of conduct. Maintain dignity and speak in a soft tone of voice.
What is that enchanting smell?
Cloves, cinnamon, and anise are just a few of the remedies that help foster a peaceful environment. Animancers are miracle workers, but their work breeds obsession, rivalry, and bitter disagreement.
You must see a lot of animancers around here.
Their anxiety keeps me in business. This tea house is where troubled minds come to approach problems from a quieter angle.
Sounds like you're running a public service.
Fior Mesiverno values individualism, but I much prefer to focus on the health of the community. Now, will there be anything else?
Some tea, please.
Regrettably, we are out of tea. My stockpile is exhausted, and the harvest has not kept up with demand. We have other goods for sale, if you care to peruse them. Trinkets I have collected over the years.
No tea in a tea house?
The fields have been unproductive of late, and what grows has not risen to our standard. I am hopeful that this is a temporary setback and not a sign of things to come.
Why is this place called the Gifted Magpie?
Believe it or not, this building was once my father's grain warehouse. One day, a magpie landed on the rafters and spoke fluent Valian to anyone who would listen.
What did it say?
Among other things, it told my father the recipe for a blueberry tart. Popular item until the recent troubles. Helia is the goddess of birds and creativity. Yes, the spiritual significance of a talking magpie is debatable. But the tale inspired others to make this a haven of creativity. And so, here we are.
What happened to the magpie?
Who knows? Either it flew away on bad business, or it was just a metaphor to begin with. A good story knows where to end itself. The bad ones all end in grief.
Did you know that Abrid has a crush on you?
What? I mean, I'm sorry. What? Could you possibly elaborate?
I found a note by her shop. Very steamy.
Oh no, I mean, oh yes? It's just that these sorts of things happen to other people, but never me. I wouldn't even know where to start.
Start by flirting. That usually gets things moving.
I was afraid you were going to say that. It seems I need to gather my wits and figure out what to do next. I have no skill with romance, you see. Oh dear.
Well, let's see what you have for sale. Nothing much. We should probably get that. Treasure map, but we'll get it later, possibly.
Envoy, welcome.
Careful! Or we'll get thrown out of the pub!
We're already thrown out.
Really? Huh. And when did that happen?
Can't say as I remember.
You, my friend, need some water.
Journal of Valencio Casanueva. Among animantic notes and scribbles is a brief excerpt that catches the attention. I have gained much in my latest initiative, and I have enjoyed myself despite my misgivings. Still, soon will come the day when I no longer need court either of them, and I do long to return to my sweet solitude. Until then, however, I must work. While Sinia's work remains inscrutably meticulous, I have liberated the innovations I feel must be beneficial. I feel most beneficial to my own goals, and while I bristle at Isalia's continued frivolity, her insights under the influence of drink have proven that her notes contain value I could not find elsewhere. It could be said that neither deserves the ill that I am doing to them, but I argue that both will benefit by seeing their work brought to light, even if credit is never received where it is due.
One job, but I couldn't even do that.
Pour you a drink, good like?
Look out for her, Fidelio. How hard could that have been?
Can I help you?
If I could help myself, do you think I'd be in here? I don't mean that. I have a lot on my plate.
Where's the rest of your squad? Shouldn't you be out on patrol?
I'd like to be. They're out searching. Someone had to hold down the fort. My two youngest rangers were supposed to report back from their rounds. I assumed they'd turn up. But it's been 3 days now. They're still not here.
They've disappeared before, haven't they?
3 times this month. They're going to be the death of me. They're besotted. I can't get them to think about anything else. Belena and Adalaro were my most promising recruits. Now, all they do is sneak off to...
Get to know each other. Have relations.
That's a delicate way to put it.
Well, there's worse places to make the four-legged beast. I promise you that.
New recruits running off with each other? Oh man, this brings me back. Anyway, I never thought I had any cause for concern. They always found their way back eventually, but they haven't this time. They're out there, all alone, and they could be in danger, and I...
You don't have to explain yourself. I'd be worried about my charges, too.
The last time I saw them, I sent them to patrol the northern riverbed. If you go that way, please, keep an eye out for them. I'm losing my mind in here.
Two young Nemdutin wandering out by a river. Consider them found.
Maybe we don't look too soon.
Welcome back, envoy.
Atilaro, my love. I want to see you again. What about a patrol tomorrow night? The woods will give us some privacy. Don't breathe a word to Aina, though. She went straight to the captain last time. Elena. Well, speak of the devil.
The crops are ruined. All!
Can anything be done?
Bly thinks I ought to give up a farm.
Well, I'll be a godlike in the bone and bore. Apologies for the ruckus outside. The Animancers never know when to shut their mouths.
What are they arguing about?
Our crop yield. The governor thinks we've just had a bad season, but the Koilichi and the Giata figure differently. They are the only Animancers taking the Dream Scourge seriously.
Not taking the Dream Scourge seriously is a mistake.
Try telling that to Vidaro and the Animancers. But the rest of us, we've all heard the rumors from outside. Animals gone mad, terrors stalking the wilderness day and night.
Terrors have always stalked the wilderness, day and night.
True, but now they do so without fear. And that's not even our biggest problem. We've had crops fail before, but never food rations. The governor says it's just a temporary precaution, but I am not buying it. So, we ought to drink while we can. Agreed? Anything I can get you?
Tell me about the bone and bore.
What are you fixing to know?
I'd like a little history about this place.
I opened the place after my brother cut me out of the family business years ago. I opened the Bone and Boar for all the customers he found undesirable. The rough types.
What was the family business?
In a word, tea. My parents were the first owners of the gifted magpie. Mom was an Animancer, and the pa wasn't. They fought constantly. Because of that, my brother Hector hates conflict. It's ruined the magpie's business.
How so?
Visit the magpie and talk to him. You'll see what I mean. Now, is there anything else I can get you?
What have you got for sale? I've got some lockpicks, so let's snap those. That's about all he's got.
What'll it be?
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amigo. Well, I was not expecting such an esteemed guest in my humble workshop. Are you in need of any weapons or armor? The roads haven't been safe as of late.
Do Animancers have much use for weapons and armor?
Nay, not really. But not all of us in Fjord are Animancers, you know. Besides, humble craftsmen such as myself, we have the Rangers to outfit. Under normal circumstances, I'd not sell to a traveler like yourself. But as I'm sure you've seen, these are not normal circumstances. Care to see what I have?
So you're not an Animancer?
Officially no, but I have been known to dabble with essence infusion here and there. I have one such item for sale, actually. A beautiful mace made of star metal, crafted by the finest smiths of Solace Keep and enchanted by yours truly. It is a wonder to behold. Care to see?
Show me your wares. Yes, Audra. So dagger, 2 shields, spear, 2 common swords. Sell that. Buy those Audra, buy these lockpicks.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amico.
Apprentice Animancer's Diary. 7th of Tarestu. I've finally done it. I'm studying at the academy. My dreams come true. The equipment here far exceeds anything available to me at home. And the knowledge! My colleagues are all so brilliant. One has even offered me a great boon. Ollie says he has a way of enchanting one's trousers to elevate one's performance in the bedroom. He says it's still experimental, and I mustn't tell anybody, but he promises results. Perhaps I shall find a lover for keeps within this bastion of animancy and kindness. 12th of Tarestu. I am confounded. My colleagues snicker as I pass. Their laughter is undeniable. I do not understand. Have I committed some great faux pas? Hopefully they can forgive my ignorance. 15th of Tarestu. To do. Formulate plan to retrieve pants from atop Montos animancy machine. Formulate plan to reclaim my honor. Exact revenge upon Ali. Perhaps try the essence enlarger offered in the town square. Poor guy. It's a guy in need of erecting a better future.
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now. How can you ignore what's right in front of you? The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us. Oh my goodness. Are you a godlike?
Lazarus, at your service.
Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
I'm an Ediran envoy. Is that official enough?
Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure he didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
I've seen corruption in nature, but never this advanced.
There may still be time to reverse the damage.
I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
But you do. What would it take for you to fix this?
Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Chiata from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark.
What's the worst that could happen?
Are you going to tell him about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart.
Maybe we can solve the Dream Scourge rationally. Let cooler heads prevail.
Then we'd better do it somewhere else. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Chiata.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Chiata Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Mesiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Chiata is an outcast.
You're making a mistake.
Perhaps. But I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'll find us another bedroom.
That was certainly dramatic. Missing person. Maxime Vidaro. I am offering a substantial reward to anyone who can locate the remains of Maxime Vidaro. He vanished in the wilderness of Emerald Stair 10 years ago. His journal is also missing. I will accept it as proof of the discovery. Maxime was our founder, my father, and a devout Skainite. He would not have left us without good reason, so I have every reason to believe he hasn't gone far. Ignacy Vidaro, Governor of Fior Mesiverno.
That did not go as I had planned.
What did you think would happen when you confronted him so?
Well, my first idea was to mess up his house. Maybe break a window or two.
Perhaps I should thank you for showing restraint.
I'm sorry you had to see that. What an asshole.
Giata, some manners, if you please.
I thought she was being polite.
We're on the verge of extinction, but our governor is too busy protecting his fragile ego.
He's focusing on the wrong problems. That's for certain.
What does he know? He isn't even an animancer.
You did challenge his authority.
I know, but... curses. Without Fior Messiverno, I'm hardly even an animancer. My tools, the workshop, all gone.
Can we still fight the Dream Scourge?
We'll have fewer resources to work with, but anything's possible. At least now I'm free to study whatever I want, on my terms. The Dream Scourge has been a thorn in my side for too long.
How so?
I have plans for this island, and they don't involve the Dream Scourge. But that's a story for another day.
Your parents would be proud to see such tenacity.
Anyway, listen to us babble. Let's talk about you. I never expected to see an Adiran envoy here. You've got a lot of guts showing your face in a town full of animancers.
If we can stop the Dream Scourge, I'm willing to look past my biases.
How generous of you. Our first order of business is the Dream Scourge, but I'm also curious about you. There aren't many godlike left these days.
As people keep reminding me.
Sorry. I only bring it up because Animancy might offer us some insight into your nature. Keep an open mind. While I pack up my belongings, you can help me by... I don't even know. I just realized this is the end. I have to leave your Messiverno. Forever.
Nothing ends. Think of it as a new beginning with new friends. Or nah, take all the time you need to think it over. Or, well... We'll pick nothing ends. Think of it as a new beginning with new friends. Sure, we'll pick that one.
Some people don't find out who they really are until they leave home.
You'll be alright. My advice, find a good tavern and learn how to prepare squirrel over an open flame.
Maybe if I focus on what I have gained, I can learn to accept everything I've lost. When it comes to the Dream Scourge, we haven't been allowed to acknowledge the problem, much less act on a solution. Today, that changes. I need help from the animancers around town, but as you can see, I'm an outcast.
Won't the governor mind if we interfere?
Let him grouse. His good opinion means nothing to me anymore. Manto Pastor is in the workshop due west. He's got an invention that can help us. Elia Rossell is an authority on the undead. Her methods are controversial, but useful. She lives in a cottage southeast of town. And then there's Yvette and Remy, our philosophers. You'll find them at the docks, southeast of Fjord. Each of them owes me a favor. Drop my name and they'll tell you what they know about the Dream Scourge.
What do you expect to learn?
I'd rather you find that out for yourself. Whatever it is, I won't be disappointed. We're about to make history. But first, research.
Guessing she's not much of a hunter. Might want to get extra rations next time we go shopping.
Godlike, Imperial Envoy, Research Assistant. Who knew?
Ecology of the Living Lands by Arthur Kestel. No one can explain why the living land naturally grows and thrives in an unnatural manner. We have seen plant life consume mountains overnight, creatures tall enough to knock over mighty trees, and beneath it all a potent river of wild essence. Civilization has not found a stable foothold in the living lands. Whenever we try, there is some reprisal. Almost it is as if the island knows how to shrug us off. Jata's Journal. This crop shortage is the perfect opportunity to test my family's research. But of course I'm getting nowhere with Ignacy. He has the town wrapped around his little finger. You'd think a community of free-thinking animancers would embrace a little innovation. But no, not even to save their lives. What would Mother have done? Though I suppose I don't need to ask. Perhaps I can succeed where she failed. As soon as I gather the courage to enter the lab. Someday. Just not today. Jata. Once our patrol is over, a few of the rangers are grabbing drinks at the Bone and Boar. Would you care to join us? Of course, I understand if you're busy again. The offer still stands. It doesn't even have to be with the other rangers. It could just be the two of us, sitting and talking. Well, now I've said too much. You get the idea. Best of luck with your experiments. Masoni. Jata, are you well? Ever since I moved away, I hear only rumors about what happens inside the walls of Fior Mesiverno, and the rumors alone are cause for concern. They say you've been starting fights with the governor, stirring unrest at the workshop, turning animancers against each other. I adore you too much to believe such nonsense, most of it anyway, but allow me to give you a word of advice. There is a pattern to this behavior even if you think there isn't. You believe that your ambitions are being held back so you can hold them back further by alienating everyone in reach, and thus prove your own point. Trust me, I know from experience. As did your mother. Be careful that you don't hurt yourself in the crusade to be proven right. Come and visit me sometime. Put aside your worries and clear your mind. Silvo misses you. Elia. The Metaphysical Frontier by Cordello Castel. Nature as we know it is ours. We dam its rivers, we cut down its forests. But the metaphysical world, the nature next door, that is the true prize. When we can break the spirit world like a stubborn horse, the possibilities are endless. Today we grow crops, tomorrow souls. That is quite the ambition.
I have been thinking about the moon.
Not this again.
There is no Adra on Bilafa. None that we can see in a telescope anyway.
I suppose that's true.
Come on. My invention is guaranteed to a moment of your time, my friend. Tell me, what do you know about your soul?
Well, I'm a godlike, so I've got some divine heritage.
Wrong. Your soul is an ancient, wondrous thing, suffused with lifetimes of rich, delicious memory. But it's tired, my friend, heavy with the burden of generations and too weak to survive another turning of the wheel.
And how much do I pay you to lighten my soul?
That's the beauty of it. The first treatment's on the house. The moment you entered the city, I calibrated my invention to the highest setting and attuned it to your soul. So tell me, how do you feel? Better already, huh?
My soul feels lighter, as if all my worldly cares have fluttered away.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear it. From this day forward, your life will be one of bliss and satisfaction. Do remember to tell your friends about all the benefits of animancy. Enjoy your soul.
Hope you don't start seeing other people's past lives or anything.
Yeah, somehow I suspect there's little chance of that.
Ado, welcome to my establishment, I mean. Confounded machine.
Oh, I heard there was a new arrival, but I didn't expect a godlike. Welcome to our modest workshop.
Giada and I are investigating the Dream Scourge.
Giada. What a loss. I owe that young woman more than I could ever repay. Unfortunately, I cannot do a lick of research while my equipment is underpowered and overworked.
That's not good. Giada said your machine could help her research.
Yes, her theory of the Dream Scourge, I'm quite familiar. What I need is a stronger power source.
You're an animancer. Can't you just animance one?
We can't make something out of nothing. We're still limited by our resources. I could use a large single block of Adra, but harvesting it is difficult in this environment. Oh, wait. One of our rangers reported that an Adragon recently died in a western grove.
Died? That's unusual. They can live for centuries.
As you've seen, Envoy, there are many unusual things happening lately. An Adragon's heart can hold an immense amount of essence. The grove is to the west, across the chasm. You can't miss it. The rangers say a Delamgan queen holds court there. You may be able to retrieve it without violence, but most Delamgan in these parts are hostile to Keith. So you can understand why none of us went rushing over there to find it when we heard the Adragon had died. Still, Delamgan queens can be reasoned with, so if you want to get the heart peacefully, try not to kill her guards.
I'll see what I can do.
Do be careful. Emerald Stair is not itself these days.
If you can convince her to hand it over, I'll be more than impressed.
Giacomo's invitation. To my colleagues, friends, and naysayers, you are hereby invited to a demonstration of my latest achievement, that of spiritual self-combustion. Bear witness as I set fire to my very essence merely to prove that I can. Do you doubt me? Then come, watch me fail. Do you trust me? Then come, watch me go out in a blaze of glory. Either way, you will be entertained. I anticipate a large and captive audience. Giacomo Filuccio.
The Adra is healthy. It's the essence I'm concerned about.
This again. Your...
A recent history of Queen Birth. The arrival of the Valians. Excerpted from a letter by Winge Waraki, a Juana historian, from a collection of her personal writings. The Balians' arrival in Neketaka was not unexpected. Our fisherfolk had watched them lurk near the edges of our territory for months, their ships like the keen eyes of a jeweler, inspecting us, already counting the coin they'd make on a prize so fine as the Deadfire. They were not the first to watch us so. Doubtless they will not be the last. We were not certain what it was they wanted at first, aside from whatever it was we had. When Onekaza sent an envoy of Mataru to speak with them, they made noise about desiring trade and cultural exchange. What exactly it was they intended to trade, or what manner of cultural exchange they thought might entice us, wasn't immediately clear. We were not naive. We knew their arrival spelled change for the Deadfire as surely as we know the rain falls in the monsoon season. The trouble came in how we would manage the Valian's influence, how we would contain it. Better they think us partners than easy marks, the thinking at the palace went at the time. We could not risk war with them, as fractured a people as we are, and have any hope of winning it, no matter the power of our water shapers. As the leader of the Kahanga, Onekaza decided for us. She allowed the Valians to set down roots in Queen's Birth, and begin limited mining operations in the archipelago. She suggested this might ease trade and tensions between our people and theirs, but in truth I believe she only wanted to keep an eye on them. I sympathize with her point of view, but I cannot endorse it because Onekaza forgot the truth of roots, that they are the silent, grasping hands of trees, and that a tree once established cannot be moved without destroying the ground around it. But it was done. The Valians quickly made themselves at home, and the ensuing conflict over who had rights to which islands, which Atra veins, which trading routes, only served to fracture the Juana further. Then the Rauatayans arrived. By that point it was too late. The colonials were in the Deadfire to stay. Now Juana refugees flood into Neketaka from across the archipelago, complaining of lost land and dwindling resources, and the trading companies fight a quiet war against each other with our doorsteps at the front. And God guide us in this trying time.
Beginning to sound like Giata.
Have you ever stopped and listened to her?
Workshop etiquette. Rule number 1. Clean up after your experiments. I don't want to see stagnant puddles or shards of Atra where people are expected to walk. Rule number 2. Label your experiments. Is your corpse a terrible accident or a work in progress? Rule number 3. No stealing resources. Governor Vidaro grants us what we need for our assigned duties, and not a copper wire more. No one should have to steal. Rule number 4. Elia Rosell is not allowed inside the workshop. Self-explanatory. Rule number 5. No food or drink. From now on, research notes stained with spilled tea will not be accepted.
She might be onto something.
I'm sure her mother and father are onto something, and look what happened to them.
Summit meeting notes on the Deadfire event. 2829 AI. Topic: Spiritual disturbance in the Deadfire archipelago. Governor Ignazi Vidaro presiding. All agree that a disturbance shook the metaphysical veil between the here and the beyond. Ask about capitalization. Cause of disturbance unknown. Experiment gone wrong? Rumor of giant Adra statue dismissed as mass hallucination. Periquilici requests to contact Republic's associates for second opinion. Governor Vidaro denies the motion. Verdict: results inconclusive. No action required at this time. Yeah, what did happen in the Deadfire? My rejection of so-called ethics by Montopastor. Animancy is a magnet for naysayers who cherish ignorance over progress and safety over opportunity. I do not deny that our art has produced some misfortune over the years. Bale Reach, Brackenbury, and the event at the Castell House, to name a few. But why should these isolated incidents cast such a long shadow? When a ship sinks to the bottom of the ocean, no one forces merchants to abandon their trade. I say that we resist society's unjust call to smash our machines and burn our research. We are animancers. Society is welcome to join us, but we won't hesitate to leave them in our dust.
All right, explain it to me again.
Imagine a river of essence. It feeds our crops, enriches the soul, and fuels our experiments.
Tides and Moons, a natural historian's account. We have all heard the legends of Ondra and Sen Belefa, and the explanation that the goddess's love for the moon causes the tides, and as men and women of science we know this to be but a shadow of truth. Yet there is another myth that we have been quicker to dismiss, and I wonder if it does not merit further examination. Ondrites tell of a smaller moon, Yoni Brather, that the goddess supposedly pulled from the sky in an earlier age. And while such things seem impossible, for Yoni Brather, it still roams the skies above. It is true that explorers in the far reaches have found mineral fragments that do not naturally occur on any known continent in Eora. Furthermore, naturalists in Adder, Rauatai, and the Deerwood have observed the remains of an ancient ocean life many miles inland. Such a thing would only be possible if Eora's oceans had once been larger, or, as I here propose, if a catastrophic flood had once washed over the continents. While few phenomena could cause a flood of this magnitude, a large body falling into the seas just might do the trick. In these pages I will explain how some force of nature, if not an amorous goddess, could have pulled a small moon into Eora millennia ago.
So where is the source of the river? What have we read?
Forget-me-not tonic. Instructions for use. Take one cupful approximately 1 hour before beginning tedious activity. If administered correctly, time should appear to pass more quickly, and tasks should feel more tolerable. Side effects may include amnesia surrounding the dosage period.
I have to do something. I can't let anyone else discover.
Monsters of the Deathfire Archipelago. The archipelago winds its way between the great eastern ocean and the restless ocean. Hundreds of small islands in the midst of the water. Few dare brave its treacherous rapids, and fewer still have returned to tell tale of their adventures through it. Travel between the two oceans is virtually impossible. Great storms hammer any ships foolhardy enough to attempt to navigate, and this alone should be enough to deter anyone from attempting the voyage, as untold ships have gone down, tossed against the rocks. The weather and treacherous rocks are only a precursor to the actual horror of the archipelago, the terrors of the deep. No one knows how many creatures stalk the oceans, waiting for unsuspecting sailors to drift into their waters, but we do know of some. Barbed Ravager. A giant shark that is known to ram passing vessels, trying to knock sailors off the deck and smash a hole in the hull. It has tremendous spines protruding from its side and back, that are presumed to be poisonous. The largest sighted barbed ravager with survivors was estimated to be almost 30 feet long. Winding Serpent. Smaller around than the Ravager, but potentially longer, the Winding Serpent attacks in small packs, usually 3 to 8. They have long, sharp heads, somewhat reminiscent of a barracuda. Like the Ravager, they repeatedly slam into the side of a ship, hoping to crack a hole in it, or knock someone from the deck. They have also been known to swim into the depths and shoot up out of the ocean, landing on the deck, coiling and winding their way around, snapping up any crew before plunging back into the ocean. Leviathan. Imagine the largest whale you have ever seen. The Leviathan is at least 10 times that size. By the time a ship sees the Leviathan, it is already too late. As they rise from the depths, the water around them begins to spin and sink, creating a whirlpool. The Leviathan's body surrounds the hapless vessel, preventing escape, and as it goes down, the enormous mouth opens, pulling all aboard to their watery depths. Polpovir. All the creatures you've read about in this book are nothing compared to the Polpovir. Barely the size of a man, what they lack in size and strength they make up for in numbers and terrifying viciousness. Their lower halves are a mass of tentacles, like an octopus or squid, but more numerous. The tentacles are long, black whips with suction cups on the underside, and small thorny barbs on the top. The sheer number of tentacles gives them frightening speed when walking on land, pulling themselves forward almost as fast as a running horse. While they vaguely resemble a human form from the waist up, any extended examination proves how wrong that assumption is. Long, stringy black hair falls from the top of their heads to cover a face taken directly from a nightmare. A wide, gaping mouth cuts across the bottom of its head from ear to ear, full of wicked dagger-like teeth. 2 large round eyes are sunken into its head, black as coal, shining with a malevolent fire. A small antenna protrudes from the middle of its forehead, ending in a small nodule that can glow with an eerie blue light. One can imagine a sailor on the deck of his ship at night, looking out across the black water, blood freezing as countless lights appear beneath the surface, rising toward him as the pulp of ears swarm upward. Because they seem to be more octopus than man, they can collapse in on themselves, fitting into spaces no person should be able to. The smallest crack in a hull, the slightest separation between boards offers them entrance. It is not unknown for them to slaughter an entire crew from hold up to deck by infiltrating the ship from underneath. Fortunately, they do not seem to have spread too far outside of the archipelago, but there may come a day when pulpoveer attacks become commonplace.
Envoy. I'm sorry. I'm not in a place to talk right now.
Is Montor giving you trouble?
On the contrary, he'd be thrilled if he knew. Yesterday, I made an incredible discovery. We can use half as much Adra to achieve the same results. And then I thought, what if one day it's a third, a quarter, a speck?
I see why this is bothering you.
With no consequences, our ambitions will run unchecked. It's too much power. Who knows what kind of chaos we'll create? I have been reading Ethelmir's treatise on Wotica. Perhaps she's right. Maybe Animancy should be reined in.
Set an example. Show your colleagues it can be used for good. Or could go with Wotica since we are Adiran. Now let's set an example.
How can I? All right. I'll do some more tests and see where they lead me. But I won't publish anything until I'm absolutely sure.
The moons of Eora. Look up into the night sky and you'll see the moon Belafa. Ubiquitous and persistent, she remains forever in view, but also forever out of reach. What many people do not know, however, is that our world is actually orbited by 2 moons, Belafa and Caldwa. Belafa. Hanging low and large in the sky, Belafa travels swiftly in her race around the world, completing an orbit in about 18 days. This proximity and speed can cause extreme tide conditions in some areas, making the seas shift so quickly and rise so high that there are some beautiful coastal areas that are virtually uninhabitable for a good portion of the year. Before we learned the truth behind the cause of the tides, legend held that Andra, the goddess of the sea, was in love with the moon, and when she saw it in the sky, the tides, great waves, and violent storms that happened were her attempts to reach it. This is why the moon is formally called Sen Belafa, or Andran Belafa, the beloved, or Andras beloved, Calda. 315 years ago, the Grand Empire of Valia suffered from terrible storms and terrifyingly high and low tides. Records show the same thing was happening in the Adir Empire, and that several new Adiran colonies along the Deerwood coast were completely destroyed by storms and high tides that engulfed the settlements. At that time, during an eclipse, Glanfathan astronomers spotted something small orbiting near the edge of Belafa. After much study, they realized it was a small satellite with an extremely irregular orbit. They called it Caldwa Deb, or the Black Runner. Since it is smaller than Belaffa, it doesn't have much effect on the world, but when it aligns with Belaffa's orbit, it wreaks havoc on the tides and weather everywhere. This happens with an erratic frequency and severity, and has been dubbed Lover's Tides. Calda has been rolled into the Andra myth, and when they are both in sight, her desire to reach them is increased tenfold, which is what causes the terrible wind.
What do you think of Giatta's theory?
Well, my experiments have been a little...
unpredictable? Like, the essence has no sense of direction.
How did you know?
We should talk, but not here.
The Many Pitfalls of Imp Husbandry. This book narrates one scholar's dissection of all matters relating to the care of household imps, focusing notably on their cleaning and housebreaking. One passage has been underlined with a deep press of a quill. Never allow imps to learn spells or wield artifacts of power. Their bodies sponge up the essence remainder and grow exponentially larger in size. One of my household servants pilfered a ring from my collection and grew to the size of an aurochs before I had him properly drained. Their glands also grow more pungent than mere writing can hope to encompass, so beware. On the efficacy of imps. A time-worn adage among practitioners of the arcane arts avers that early wizards compelled imps to service not out of a desire for the assistance, but to banish them from underfoot. I doubt it not at all, for one could not conjure more unruly, noisome, maladroit, or irascible aid. Why then do we employ these diminutive meddlers? Imps, dear reader, are to a wizard's sanctum as rats are to a ship. Whether out of malign instinct or pure mischievousness, they infiltrate our laboratories with alarming regularity. Ninagauth conjectures in his Sensitivity of Simpletons that imps infest any locus of concentrated mystical influence, and accounts of the creatures lurking among the uninhabited ruins of Anguith seem to corroborate his supposition. Yet a wizard's domicile seems to possess a particular appeal to them, regardless of whether it resides at a nexus of spiritual power or no. Left to their own devices, the winged miscreants accrue loose baubles, hoarding them in filthy dens as often as not, established in our cupboards and privies. Seemingly possessed of an antiquity dealer's discernment, each prefers to pilfer the most valuable paraphernalia and potent artifacts, yet they remain pathetically inept in the use of even the simplest gewgaw. Gewgaw. Haven't seen that word before. Gewgaw. I admit the imp's general incompetence makes them appealing retainers. One of the little cretins may displace a favorite wand of elemental power, but little peril exists of it activating the instrument and emulating your collected volumes of arcana. The same cannot be said of apprentices. Yet the beasts present a danger to the unwary, for they possess a low cunning not unlike that of Soreps and Norlands. Without a domineering hand to direct them, imps rapidly regress to their base instincts. As a result of their propensity for pack behavior, even transitory leniency with a single imp can imperil a wizard's entire collection. The Alchemy of Imp Spray. I kept a pair of imps caged for the better part of 3 decades as I scripted Volume 5 of my series, Scent Languages of the Perverse. Every day the duo would fill the air from their glands as they communicated across the distance. I grew to understand the alchemy of their spray by standing in its path and allowing the fetid effluvium to wash over me. Such wondrous effluvium, so potent. It hovers over me still. Just as I had written the last page of what was to be my greatest work, the dialect of their spray changed entirely, rendering my findings useless. Oh, but how they laughed at my expense. I know the smell of failure. It is the reek of 30 years' worth of concentrated imp farts sprayed into one's face, and the bitterness of having no academic recognition to show for it. Oh well. Academic research does have its detractions. disadvantages, or whatever you want to call it. Its low points.
Ado, welcome to my fine establishment, amigo.
Alright, I think we'll call it a day here, ladies and gentlemen. Although, party note, LM. I hope this note finds you well. What an occasion, despite the lackluster fruit. You always were the life of the party, despite your claims otherwise. I look forward to more antics soon. Till we meet again, FB. How do we get in there? That's a good question, if we can even get in there.
Is your soul cracked like an old teacup? Buy a crystal today!
Let's make sure we talk to everyone. I think we're gonna... Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna call it a day here. Thank you, as always, for joining me for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. We got a lot of talking done. A lot of dialogue. A lot of plot. Next episode is going to be more action as we delve back into the Emerald Stair. Start doing some quests. Hope you'll join me for that. Until then, please do take care. Be safe. Enjoy life. And good night. And good luck. Bye-bye.